In the post-Copenhagen so-called world that we all cohabit, the disarray of policy formulations and implications and debates and discussions and ire that sunders political parties, different religious orientations, spiritual traditions, and people in general, consumers, householders, and so forth, all of whom are now fairly savvy with regard to the notion of carbon cap and trade, ecological footprints, leaving a benign footprint, if you will. Even our kids coming back from school will point their finger at their parents and say, Dad, Mom, we should be using low-flow toilets. We should be doing more recycling. We should be driving cars that have hybrid capacity at the very least, if not hydrogen when it's available, or fuel cells when they're very affordable, or solar power for our front gate or our deck, whatever it is. Well, these debates all come down to a single conclusion, which is the word love. And love, like sustainability, is a word that's used in every radio jingle. If you Google the word sustainability, you're going to come up with at least 55 million hits. I tried it the other day, and that's the number I got. And if you ask every individual on the planet, what does sustainability mean to you, you're going to get a different answer. So for generating policy and for reflecting upon and working toward some kind of reconciliation on planet Earth between Homo sapiens, human beings, and all other species, which is the primary goal of Dancing Star Foundation, we're confronted by this unbelievably complex array of indecisiveness. Nobody really knows what to do. We have a lot of mini formulas, small solutions, fantastic delegation of experts and new scientific technologies coming out every single day, all of which have huge promise for helping the world, for suffering, for hunger, for oppression of women and of children, for cleaning up the air, the water, for saving species. We've got great legislation in place dating back actually centuries from country to country. The issue is most people these days, particularly in a recession, particularly in hard economic times, and by and large, they've always been difficult for the majority of human beings since 120,000 years ago when the first records of our species even exists. We're a young species, remember. The biological bottom line is the bottom line, namely, how can we live on this earth sustainably, compassionately, and tolerantly with other species, with other life forms? And there may be as many as 100 million species out there, of which we only know about 1.8 million. And that so-called knowledge of 1.8 million is very limited, often a little digital computer card somewhere in a library getting dusty. So if there are 100 million species, and if on average every species on average has about 3 million individuals, we're talking about grains of sand on the beach, so to speak. There are so many life forms on Earth, and each one of these life forms has a soul, we believe. Each one of these life forms deserves respect, deserves some sort of legal standing, some kind of mutual understanding, and this whole inbred concept of superiority of humans over all other life forms is an anachronism. It's obsolete, it's rude, it's insanity. Because what we see now every day in the newspapers, in the scientific literature, in everything we read, is that the extinction rate is so accelerated. And by extinction we mean, remember, forever. Not endangered, not as if they're still around, but they're gone, like the dodo bird or the solitaire of Rodriguez Island, not too far from Madagascar, out in the Indian Ocean. So extinction and cruelty and how human beings can shift paradigms so that we start thinking, feeling, acting in a manner befitting our so-called humanity. This is the goal of the 21st century. This is the most exciting, fantastic, comprehensive challenge that our species has ever confronted. And I truly believe we can get there.